Hey, how you doing? I wanted to showcase a proof of concept that I built using Cube.dev. This is a showcase of, let's say, a regional health plan that has claims data but doesn't have analytics, and how they might stand up a semantic layer and a dashboard that can query their data using Cube.dev. So let me quickly, before I jump into this UI demo, let me quickly show you how this architecture is built out. So this one is using Next.js and Tailwind for the front end. And any of our requests that are going for Cube.js are then proxied over to port 4000, where Cube.dev is running using the REST API, which then uses the semantic models that I've set up, which I'll show you in greater detail later in this demo, claims members and providers, which is currently backed by the data source DuckDB, where I have created some synthetic data for claims. So if I was to jump back into the UI um, and play around with this dashboard, this is the landing page where we see the top KPIs on these cards over here. Each of these, by the way, is live queries to Cube, right? None of this is mocked data. So I can adjust filters over here. Let's say I'm interested in cancer condition only. You'll see that all of the data refreshes, and yeah, we can see the trend line chart, which we can then further filter based on time as well, which is live and updating. And then if you wanted to drill down further, let's say we wanted to see what's going on with the inpatient stay, we see additional dimensions here of like which providers contributed to that metric. So that's the dashboard view. I'm gonna hit reset here so we go back to like no filters. And then I'm gonna go over to the Explorer tab. And this is an interesting view where, an analyst could dig around for different types of data. Let's say they're more interested in like claims, right? And then they're more interested in the conditions for which the claims were allowed. They can even look at, okay, there was the most claims for musculoskeletal category versus the lowest number were for the cardiovascular, right? And then in a similar way, they can also change this into a different visualization, and they can also dig into this drill down. So the same drill down, but now focused on specifically cardiovascular and which providers were contributing to that allowed amount, right? So that's the Explorer view. And now, if someone wanted to kind of really get into the nitty gritties and understand how these aggregates are being computed, they could use the table view, where they could also do filters on cardiovascular and say emergency cardiovascular um, events only in 2024, for example. And now they're seeing basically the data that's still coming from Cube.dev. These are not SQL pass-throughs. These are still querying Cube.dev in the same way that the other views were. So that's kind of the Cube. Sorry, that's the dashboard. Let me take you over to the playground for Cube and show you how this is designed in terms of the semantic layer, right? So we have three queries, three cubes that we've set up. First one is claims, that is joined with members and providers, and we have a few different measures. I believe I showed you the total allowed amount and the member count um, right on the dashboard, right? And also the count of the claims itself was also over there, just a pure count, right? We've also set up some dimensions on this that allows us to drill into the service type or condition categories on our dashboard. In addition, we have some pre-aggregations which allow some optimizations in the more trending data or data that is frequently queried. And what's cool about Cube is it allows you like a playground where you can actually play with this data even if you don't have your own front end. So let's say I was looking for claims across the different service types, and I wanted to visualize that in a bar chart. I can do it this way, and I get back like you. Okay, emergency had 4257 versus therapy had 4063. So in this particular data set. So that's Cube Playground, which allows you to kind of query stuff in different ways. You could even see different libraries of React and how they look. Right. In my front end, I'm using Recharts. So this is probably similar to what we see in in the UI that I created. And all of these are queries that are running against the semantic layer, and if I went back to the architecture, they are then making SQL queries onto the DuckDB driver. Okay, yeah, so if I was to go back and recap over here, this is basically a full stack analytics application with Cube.dev and DuckDB as the semantic layer and the data store, right? We also have this beautiful looking React front end using the Recharts library for the visualizations. And my next milestone with this would be, two ideas that I have is one, introducing the Tuva data model, so we can speak the same data model from the raw data source to the semantic layer onwards. And the next thing I'm also thinking of is introducing Cynthia, which is a good standard for healthcare synthetic data. Because right now I'm using basic scripts and getting a small amount of data. But if you wanted a larger amount of data to really like push this to the limit, then we could use something like Cynthia. But yeah, I'm hoping that you like this demo, and hopefully, we can chat more if you're interested in work like this. Thank you for watching.